The 2025 World Superbike Championship has officially been started, and boy do we have a fantastic race one, to be honest. Not really fantastic in terms of the tight battle towards the victory, but I mean, Nico Bulaga absolutely destroys the competition. He absolutely dominated this race one. Like, what is it at the end, like a 5+ second gap? I don't know. I don't really watch until the end because my internet provider was a bit tricky this time around. So yeah, I didn't really finish the race. When I saw the result, when I read the official result from the FIM Motor Superbike website, boy, it was an absolute domination from Nicolo. Pole position, pre-practice first super pole, and just an absolute domination. Like, I mean, last year he did the same as well, but last year he was a rookie. So this means that this is an experience talking here. He already has 1 year in his bag. And one thing to note that is it's a bit strange again though, because there's a mandatory pit stop yet again for this race in Phillip Island, and it's also the same case for last year. And Nicolo absolutely excels in this type of condition. Last year, like I said, last year he was a rookie, but he absolutely nailed it. Nobody could catch him. Nobody, not even the reigning world champion Toprak. And it's a shame because Toprak has been really struggling. Back in the free practice session, he already said that he was like riding on ice. I'm not happy, he said. I'm not happy because the bike isn't working. It's not turning, not stopping, not gripping. Everything is changed. It's like riding on ice. It's a shocker, to be honest. How did BMW went from an absolute domination last year to come into this first round and then lost? They got completely lost with the setup. But even so, Toprak still managed to finish in a strong P2 against all of the Ducatis. It was like one BMW versus so many Ducatis. Like he was so. I mean, on the starting grid itself, Toprak was starting P2 on the grid. Of course, Super Pole on pole position was Nicolo. Third, I think it was Andrea Iannone, and then followed by Alvaro, and then by. Who's in the 5th spot? Danilo Petrucci, and then Scott Redding. I mean, from P1 to P6 on the starting grid, it is like 5 Ducatis versus 1 BMW. How is it? But and Toprak, once again, it's the rider, not the bike. So yeah, he managed to finish in a strong P2. I quite believe for tomorrow BMW will sort it out, and Toprak will be able to fight for the win. But for today, no chance. Nicolo absolutely smashed it. And another thing that I would like to discuss in this commentary is that Scott Redding's performance. Boy, old Scotty is back. He is absolutely back. But judging from this race one, I can say that he's back. I'm a fan of Scott Redding. I've been a fan since 2014. Since his MotoGP days. I think it's 2013 even, from his Moto2 days when he was fighting for the Moto2 title with Paul Espargaro. And yeah, I like Scott. He has character, he has a charisma. He's been vocal towards a lot of things in the past, even until now, I guess. And yeah, 3 years that he spent with BMW, 22, 23, and then last year with the satellite BMW Bonovo. It was an absolute disastrous 3 seasons. Well, the first season with BMW didn't necessarily be a bad season though. It was a decent season, couple of podiums here and there, but 23 and 24 he was absolutely nowhere. But this time, on board a satellite Ducati, he is back. He's back fighting with the top guys. I really love to see this. And that MGM Bonovo team, that livery, oh my god, absolutely beautiful. And not to mention that Alvaro is already back in form again. This time around last year, Alvaro was nowhere near the front group. He crashed even in race 1. I think he remounted only to finish in 15 last year in race 1 at Phillip Island. But this time he's there. He's there to begin with, fighting with the front group, and that's a really relief to see Alvaro doing that, because we do know that he is not really that comfortable with this new regulation, in which the the weight of the bike, it's not just the weight of the bike, it's an overall weight now. So if you're too light, the rider's too light, the bike will have to add some weight on it, and if the rider is too heavy, then the bike is allowed to be lightened a bit. So yeah, since this change of regulation, Alvaro, we know that he's not really that comfortable. I mean, last year he, on the main race, like be either race 1 or race 2, Alvaro only collect like 2 wins. 2 wins. Race 2 in Catalonia and race 2 in Aragon. He did get some more wins in the Superpole race, but I don't really count the Superpole race. They're not really as genuine. They don't feel as genuine as the main race, as the featured length race. So yeah, in the featured length race, Alvaro only managed 2 victories, and that just show how uncomfortable he is with the current generation of the bike, with the current rule. But this time he already, like, he's jolt in with the bike. Jolt in, is that even a word? I mean, whatever. Yeah, a 3rd place, a strong 3rd place, fighting with Danilo, with Scott. I mean, it was like the factory Ducati of Alvaro fighting against the 2 satellite Ducatis of Scott and Danilo. Not to mention Iannone. Boy, Iannone, it was a masterful race. I think today, realistically, Andrea Iannone, the Maniac Joe, I think he's the only one with the real proper chance of fighting Nicolo. He got the pace, he got the stability, but I don't know, I think on lap 3 or 4 he suddenly slowed down. He was checking to his bike. He was looking down, and it seems to be some sort of a problem, but in the end he managed to finish in P6. So I still don't know what happened, to be honest. I need to read the news later on. I mean, it's like 5:30 now in Indonesia, 5:30 p.m. So there isn't that really much of news yet. But yeah, Andrea Iannone got a problem in the early stage of the race, and then managed to fight back all the way to P6. Good job. And the last thing I want to talk about, I think that, to sum up this race 1, is that it's an absolute shame that Mikey van der Mark, he crashed when he has the pace. I mean, Mikey has always been strong in Phillip Island. We know that he got a couple of podiums here back in I think it was 2016. Yeah, 2016, his second year in WorldSBK. With that Honda, he managed to finish in P3, fighting against the Kawasatis and the Ducatis. So we do know how good Mikey is at Phillip Island. He was fighting with the top group though before he crashed. I think he was sitting in P6 or 7 when he crashed out, and it was a really fast crash. I'm really glad he's okay. Matt got so many injuries throughout these past few years, especially in from 22 to 23. He missed a lot of races, so I'm so glad that he is absolutely okay. He was standing on his foot after the crash. He was even like showing some gestures of anger. Yeah, he's absolutely okay, because it was a first corner crash. We do know how fast the first corner of Phillip Island, barely any brakes there, barely any downshift. It's just a flat out right-hander, and he crashed. He lost the front end. Oh my god, I'm just really glad that he's absolutely doing okay. So yeah, I think that's it from race 1. I'm not gonna be commentating on the Superpole race. I'm going to combine this video with the race 2 commentaries for tomorrow. So yeah, see you guys on tomorrow. Ducati, for the first time in their history in WorldSBK, has finally had a prodigious talent from one of their own. An Italian on Italian bike, winning and dominating a weekend. It's funny because Ducati is one of the constructors that has been there since the beginning of WorldSBK, since 1988. Yet for some reason they never had any Italian talent racing for them. Like the Ducati World Champion, we can see that we have a Raymond Rouge, a French. We have also the Doc Poland, an American. Also Troy Bayliss, Troy Corsa, Australian. We never have any Italian rider riding a Ducati and be this good. The last Italian champion was Max Biaggi, and Max was riding an Aprilia back then in 2010 and 2012. This is huge for Ducati. I mean, for the WorldSBK division, of course. Nicolo is the junior rider. They picked him up straight from Moto2 in 2022, and that was the inaugural season for Ducati in the World Supersport Series. And yeah, Nicolo excelled in that category, being champion in the very next year, and made a step up to WorldSBK last year as a rookie, already runner-up. And wow, today Nicolo Bulega is officially a member of the hat-trick club. Since the introduction of the Superpole race, we have this prestigious category of a hat-trick. So those riders who managed to win race 1, Superpole race, and race 2, it's a hat-trick for them. And Nicolo has officially joined that exclusive club, and it's another domination. In Superpole race, I didn't watch Superpole race, but I watched the highlights. He is untouchable. Today, all weekend long, he is untouchable. He is the undisputed master of Phillip Island for this year. This time he led factory teammate Alvaro by 2.6 seconds on the finish line. That's huge. That's huge. And not to mention that Alvaro, what a ride from the double world champion though. He started in 11, climbing his way up the order all the way to second place. At one point I was thinking that, oh, maybe Alvaro might catch Nicolo, but in the end it didn't work. But Alvaro did put the fastest lap on lap 11. But I think there's two highlights, I think, for Alvaro in this race. The first one was on lap 3, where he overtook 2 into 1. He overtook, if I'm not mistaken, Scott and Danilo in the first turn. That's a very, very fast right-hander, and that's a very daredevil move there from Alvaro. No. It wasn't Alvaro and Scott. Alvaro overtook Scott and Danilo on lap 6. On lap 3, I think it was Sam Lowe's as well as Andrea Locatelli. Those two were the one he overtook on lap 3. At that point, Nicolo was setting fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap, but on lap 11, finally, Alvaro got the fastest lap, and I thought he was going to catch Nicolo, and a bit of a dogfight where maybe we're going to get some excitement, because Phillip Island is traditionally a close race finish. Like, I don't know, WorldSBK even made the WorldSBK official channel even made a video about it. The top 16 closest finish, if I'm not mistaken. That's just show how the Phillip Island circuit, its characteristic is always bringing all these riders bunch up together until the very end of the race. But Nicolo set another trend for this year, and he just dominated. He didn't let not a single rider be close to him. So yeah, bit of a boring race, I guess, for this weekend. Nicolo just absolutely smashed it. Race 1, Superpole race, race 2. It's a shame to see Toprak again struggling. I was so confident yesterday that today, before the Superpole race, BMW might sort it out, and they finally found the problem of the M1000 RR. And then maybe Toprak can ride comfortably again. But on the contrary, he was all over the place. Toprak was all over the place in this race. It wasn't even a clean overtake on Danilo on lap 7. 7. I think it was lap 7 or 6. I think it was lap 6, where Toprak just kind of he touched Danilo in turn 4. It was like a really aggressive overtake, and he couldn't stop the bike properly, but and he also lifted his left hand, showing a gesture of apology. BMW is nowhere near this weekend. I mean, even after the pit stop, 1 or 2 laps after the pit stop, Toprak just came to the pit and he retired the bike. On the other side of the garage, Mikey, when yesterday he was fighting with the top group, he was in P6 or 7 when he crashed out. Today he got absolutely lost. He finished in P14. P14. Oh, what happened to BMW? I don't know. They really need to sort this out before Portimao in the upcoming month. It's another shame for the home hero. The only home hero we have this weekend is of course Remy Gardner, son of 1987 500cc world champion Wayne Gardner. Yesterday Remy crashed. He crashed, he remounted, and he was running in I think P18 or 17 before the engine blew up. He was forced to retire. But today's crash was genuinely a crash where he couldn't remount anymore. It was another first corner crash, just like Mikey yesterday, lost the front, and it was just a passenger going to the gravel. Thankfully he's okay, no sweat. It's just a shame. I thought Remy, for sure this year Remy is going to have his breakthrough season where he might be challenging for top 5 every weekend, every race, but this first 3 races he was nowhere near. I think he was P10 in the Super Bowl race. Yeah, I saw the statistic. Oh my god, that's a shame. I mean, Yamaha really needs to change. They need to really upgrade the YZF R1 package, because not even Andrea Locatelli can do much about the race. From P1 to P6, all Ducatis, 2 factory Ducatis, 1 Go 11 Iannone, and then of course Scott Bonovo, MGM Bonovo, and then Danilo De Barni, and then Sam Lowe's on the Mark VDS. And speaking of Barni, it is a bit of a fresh sight for me to see a rookie, Jari Montella, Danilo's teammate in the Barni racing team. He's done a mega job for today. Super Bowl race, top 10, and then the race 2, he finished in P9. Yesterday though was a bit of a mess. I mean, well, he's a rookie, but I thought it was going to be a close fight between Jari and Ryan Vickers, another hyped up rookie riding the Ducati, the Moto Corsa racing. But today Ryan was nowhere near. He finished in P15, and yeah, not really much to talk about him. And I think the last thing that I want to talk about is the performance of Bimota and Kawasaki. I didn't want to say anything about Bimota yesterday because I thought to myself that, okay, this is race 1, I can't really conclude anything about it. I really need to wait until Super Bowl race and then race 2 to see if I can really judge anything about the Bimota. And they struggled. I can say that they struggled. Both Alex Lowe's and Axel Bassani, they were nowhere near the top 5. They were like on the bottom half of the top 10s, fighting for for scrap points like P7, P8, P9, P10. I don't know. I don't think this project is going to be successful immediately. I don't think they're going to be fighting for podiums anytime soon. And I know it's a bit confusing regarding the Bimota and the Kawasaki situation right now. Officially they're called Bimota by Kawasaki racing team. So you might be confused about, is it so are they registered in the manufacturer as Bimota or Kawasaki? They are registered in the manufacturer standing as Bimota. Kawasaki on the other hand, they already have their own bike. It's a single bike for this season, and they employ Garrett Gerloff, moving from the Bonovo BMW last season. He's riding for the Puccetti Racing. Puccetti Racing has officially been the Kawasaki official team right now in the World Superbike. They're just, imagine this, 10 years ago, 2015, or maybe even 2016, 17, we had such a lot of Kawasaki's. Most of the independent team were running Kawasaki bikes. The Pedicini, the Puccetti, the Kawasaki official themselves. I mean, the Vert Natura. Almost all independent team ran Kawasaki bikes. And now, 2025, we only have 1 Kawasaki on the grid. This just shows how bad the situation is for Kawasaki. They really need to change something about the ZX-10R. It's not even ZX-10R anymore, it's ZX-10RR, double R now. So many R. And Garrett, he's struggling as well. He finished in P13. Yesterday he had a mechanical issue. He needed to retire the bike. I don't know what's going to be of Kawasaki for the upcoming races. I don't even think they'll be on the grid for next year. It's really bad. The situation, I think, is really bad for Kawasaki. This mega factory, Kawasaki, a multi-industry, they're doing this bad at the world stage. I don't know about other championship, for regional championship or national championship, but at WorldSBK, this is them now. It's a shame to see them like this. Just 2 years ago, with Jonathan Ray, they're still having wins. Even last year with Alex Lowe's, they still had wins, odd wins here and there. But oh my god, this is so painful to see. I mean, I used to hate Kawasaki. I mean, I'm a Ducati fan. You can see it from my clothes. I was rooting for Chas Davis back then, and I was always gutted every time I saw Chas being beaten fair and square by Johnny on the Kawasaki. So yeah, I really did hate the Kawasaki, but to see them like this right now, it's a bit painful though. They're historical. It's such a historical team. In the Super Bowl race, don't forget that in the Super Bowl race, both Toprak and Alvaro had a disastrous race. They both ran wide at turn 4, and then they failed to recover to the points position. They finished in P12 for Toprak and then P18 I think for Alvaro. So it's a mega job for Alvaro, coming from 11th to 2nd, but then for Toprak, from 10th on the grid, only to retire. Even before the pit stop session, he was dropping down the order. He was dropping down. So yeah, it's a really serious problem. We're going to need to wait until the next round to see if Toprak and BMW can bounce back. Also, I'm looking forward to see how Mikey will be doing for the next races. So yeah, I think that's it for this commentary for this round. Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and maybe we can have a civilized discussion. And then yeah, like and subscribe for more, and see you next month.